Welcome back to PetroTalk, where we talk about everything petroleum. I'm your host, Ori. Today we have Jeremiah from AFD. He's the product development manager. Jeremiah, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
How was the flight over from Canada?
It was long. I was up at, 3 o'clock. Yeah, finished a little bit of packing here and there, but off to the plane and here we are. Nice warm weather down here.
Yeah, well, welcome to Florida.
Thank you. It's nice to be back.
I'm sure, yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I guess where my career started was as an electrician.
Mm-hmm.
Was originally playing a little bit of hockey, and once that didn't pan out, then my uncle gave me a call one day and asked if I wanted to be an electrician.
Did you study being an electrician?
Yeah, went to school in Canada. It's a 4-year program. You work and go to school, so it's a apprenticeship program. Did that for a while and just doing houses, multifamily stuff, and then worked on the U of A, was building an addition. So did that with some distribution. And after that went to the oil field. And the oil field kind of brought me all around the world, working on drilling rigs. So from Canada all the way to North Dakota, I guess it's not that far, but and then across over to the Middle East. So worked in Dubai, Kuwait, and Bahrain.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So how did you get introduced with AFD?
You originally spoke to Dale Reimer on a previous episode, and my wife was actually working for AFD at the time, and he was looking for somebody that was going to be able to come into AFD, kind of grab the technology side that I kind of had a background in with automation on rigs, and be able to develop a program for AFD that would be able to provide a better fuel solution than what they had existing, and kind of increase efficiency and be able to provide a better product to their customers. When
you came in, what was it like at AFD?
AFD is really interesting because they're not single faceted. They do have they have tanks that they rent out to customers, so they have the storage side. They have trucking and delivery, and then they also have they sell the fuel, so they're a distributor as well. So they kind of have a bunch of different pieces of the pie that all come together to make a really interesting product, and they have a really interesting business model that's able to serve customers really efficiently and provide fuel, shipping, and storage. So kind of everything, a one-stop shop for customers.
So when you came into AFD, what were the different product developments that you've created for them?
Partnering up with SCI was a pretty big step, because SCI was able to provide us with a lot more information and data that would not only benefit AFD as a whole, but also our customers.
How were you pulling that data before?
Some of the older systems are a little more archaic. They're very binary. It did start pen and paper, and there's still some of that going on, not just AFD, but across the industry.
Right.
There is a lot of stuff that is written down, trying to keep track of, hand in a slip for a delivery, and then somebody else has to take that. They need to process that information. So you end up having lots of double entry.
Yeah.
And also you don't have the customization. So customers may be requiring some information that you're not able to just hand off to them. You have to create a special report or
manually input something.
It's more cumbersome, right? Mm-hmm. So with the technology that SCI has provided, it's become more fluid for our customers and for the company itself.
So you just came from Canada. I heard the Oilers are in the middle of the playoffs now.
You bet. That's everybody in Alberta, I'm sure, is rooting for them, even if you're from Calgary. It's a pretty heated rivalry, and I'm really excited to watch more hockey. You don't get better than playoff hockey.
You yourself play hockey as well.
Yeah, I play a little bit with the boys, play some pickup hockey.
And before joining AFD, were you planning on playing professional hockey?
I think every kid grows up
with that dream.
Yeah, around Canada, planning to play for their favorite team growing up, but stuff doesn't always work out, right? I'll call myself a late bloomer.
You're a semi-pro in the beer league.
Yeah.
What are some different innovations that you've seen with AFD for the time that you've been in AFD?
Yeah, AFD was going through a change, implementing a new ERP system. And in that time, we also wanted to implement and tie in fuel before. So some fluid transfer of data between to be able to track assets, fuel types, customers, customer transactions, stuff like that. So it makes a big difference when it's tailor-made for your company, right? And that's what Fuel Before is essentially supposed to do, right? So being able to provide a solution for our customers that's start to finish, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, especially for a fuel distribution company like AFD.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, having the delivery side, very, very important. Tracking fuel, reducing mixes, reducing spills, making sure that customers never run out. It's that's the goal, right?
Okay, Jeremiah. So tell us a little bit about the development of how you were able to integrate different technologies with the fuel management system to provide card swipes with, Visa, Mastercard, and so on, and then create cost association with those different purchases.
Yeah, it was really important for AFD to have an option for customers to pay by financial card. So by credit, debit. We have Apple Pay and Google Pay as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's anything that we can take to make more convenient for our customer. That's what we're going for. So you may have a site where a customer is providing fuel for their own equipment, but you might have a construction site where you may have multiple vendors on there. You want to track that fuel, right? But not only that, being able to have people that require fuel to make that sale right away and be able to recoup some of your cost is obviously something that makes a lot of sense, right?
Right. So why was it important for AFD to be able to swipe cards with like a Visa, Mastercard, as opposed to a fuel card?
So one thing that AFD does really well is we've kind of captured a bit of the market in remote areas. So being able to, you can't guarantee on the side of the highway that someone's going to have an AFD card, right? So being able to open that up to the general population and be able to create more sales is definitely something that creates a little bit more of a positive outlook on AFD, but also provides more convenience to the customer.
So you've kind of slightly shifted over from being more of like a private fuel distribution to being able to serve the public, to provide fuel for them as well with that integration.
It opens a lot of doors and a lot more possibilities. With the connectivity that's available these days, you can pretty much put a fuel station anywhere, regardless of what the application is, whether it's, an emergency for a wildfire, if it's a retail station on the side of the road, if it's a fuel station that a customer wants to put in their yard. Like I said, fuel their own equipment, but also maybe have a discounted fuel for their own employees. Like all of that is possible when you have the ability to, tap a card.
And that's something that you helped develop to be part of AFD, to be able to provide that service?
A part of it, but that was always something that was really important to AFD was customer satisfaction. That's a part of the mission statement. So my side was more developing a new way to do it. In the past, it was all card swipe. And with the way things are going, you need to innovate. You need to find different ways and more convenient ways for people to make that payment, because everybody might not have the same card, right? That's a part of it.
Right.
You can't just be credit. You can't just be debit. And some of the systems out there are only one.
But I'm sure you've noticed that SCI's fuel management systems are very tailor-made per customer. So depending on what the customer needs, we'll kind of build it or do certain programming to a certain way that the customer needs it. So are you using SCI's fuel management systems to as like a case for those card swipes?
It's an SCI product that we essentially added to. So we worked with the developers at SCI and found a solution that would provide more convenience to our customers.
Because we do a lot of like tailor-made, systems for specific customers. We'll do like a solar system, or if somebody has on I don't know, like 8 to 16 to 20 tanks on their yard and they want to link them all to one system or something crazy, We've had really like things like that where, it's not your normal operating basis, but
yeah. And I think that's something that SCI does really well is takes their customer into account and tries to smooth out that process, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what you want as a customer. You want to be heard. You want somebody to take your problem seriously, and you want to find a solution, right? So SCI has definitely helped with that.
So being a product developer in AFD, what are some of the bigger developments that you've done and integrations that you've done that you're most proud of?
I would say that the best is yet to come. Right now, working with SCI, I think it opens a lot of doors, gets your creative juices flowing.
Yeah.
Us integrating with the new card reader was a really big step.
Where do you see the development of technology going in AFD, SCI, just in general in the fuel industry? Where do you see that going?
Well, I think AFD and SCI have a really good opportunity to be a little bit more disruptive with technology. Being creative and able to produce something that is more inviting to the customer, creates a better user experience. That's something that we're working on. We want to bring more of the touchscreen and digital aspect to fueling and not be so analog.
Right. And that's not only for the managers of the fuel or the fleet. It's also for the end users, the truck drivers, the people fueling their vehicles, the people doing the deliveries and so on.
Yeah, you want to essentially create a really positive experience to get those repeat customers, right? Move more product, have people want to come and use your systems, right? There's nothing worse than having customers, be upset or not have a good experience. It's not anything that somebody wants to deal with. So being able to create a really, really smooth and intuitive process is what we're aiming for.
It's surprising because not everybody knows that this kind of technology exists. There's people that are still doing pen and paper. There's people, they're still writing everything down. They're logging everything manually. Some people even still have, fuel management systems where they have to download everything onto a drive and then plug it into the computer. Yeah,
there's
on Excel sheets.
Yeah, the older systems still exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and being able to provide something at a really good cost point that will create that better experience, create more of a view of where that product is going.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're taking a commodity that you're planning to burn and you're expecting to get a certain amount of work out of that burn.
Yeah.
Right. And the last thing that you want is to be, just throwing it up in the air and destroying it. Right.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Any insight, data is always king. So any insight that you can provide a customer can make a really big difference. It can make a big difference to efficiency, right? What unit is burning more than it should, right? You can track all that stuff.
Yeah. So I may be a little bit biased on this, but I personally think that out of all the fuel management systems, SCI is leading the way in technology and software in the fuel management area.
Yeah, we're very happy and excited to be working with them. So it's great. It's been a great experience.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, thank you, Jeremiah, for being on this episode. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications, and we'll see you at the next episode.